You are an Iron Man!
Today I am joined by Finbarr McCann. Finbarr, great to see you, and thanks very much for agreeing to come on the podcast.
No bother at all, Mick. Thank you very much for having me. Delighted to be asked.
Good man. I was browsing on the internet a few weeks ago, Instagram, and I remember coming across some footage of yourself in the gym.
Yes.
And I was really inspired by what I had seen. For anybody that isn't familiar with you, Finbarr, you're an amputee. You've lost your right leg.
Yeah. Above the knee.
Just above the knee. And in the video you were doing pistol squats. You were doing calisthenics workout on a ball, rolling out. You were doing dips. You were doing all these various things. And I thought to myself that this guy is someone I need to talk to. I was particularly interested in how you were able to get on with your life following what was obviously a very significant injury. What, in your own words, has brought you on in terms of being able to deal with what had happened?
Yeah, well, mindset is just such an important subject for me, and I think for everyone. Your mindset just plays a massive role in your life, whether you're aware of it or not. And it's something that I work very hard on. I work on my mindset every week. Just, having the tools, learning the tools to be able to work through difficult situations, whether it's this or anything in life, and being able to have the tools to work through that is just very, very important, and it can just help you through difficult times.
Good stuff. You're obviously in a place right now today where you're getting on with things. Your mobility's on point. You're exercising again. You're in good shape physically. You're in good shape mentally.
Yeah.
You're becoming more familiarised with your prosthetics.
Yeah.
There's a great video of you that I used just to promote this podcast of you with one of the high-tech running. Is it a running blade?
Running blade, yeah.
The blade runner, as it were. Absolutely amazing. But I suppose those types of things, you don't just kind of get there overnight. I'm sure there's a long process involved in adapting to life with one leg.
Huge, for sure. Yeah, it's a massive change in a very short space of time. One day everything's fine. The next thing, you've got a lot of stuff to deal with. It's just a gradual process, and it doesn't happen overnight. You have to work through it, and it takes some time now.
If you're comfortable talking about it, can you explain in your own way, and you don't have to go into too much detail if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of what happened that led to you losing your leg.
Yeah, no problem. I've always had a keen interest in motorsport. Basically, if it burns petrol, I'm interested in it, kind of thing, and have been from growing up. So I would have raced quads growing up all around Ireland and had some success with that. So in 2019, then me and my now fiancée Arlene, we went to Australia, and we went out there, and as you do, to see a bit of the world and travel around. When I got out there and we got set up with a house and work and everything, I bought a motorbike. So that's what I done at the weekends. You go away, ride motorbikes, and then, I had a few years at that. Then it came to the end of 2021. It was the 27th of December. It was just 2 days after Christmas. I went out with some friends that I had made from the gym that we went to. They all rode bikes as well. So we went out. We were riding that day. We had most of the day done. It was probably like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We were kind of heading for home, and we were just riding through the forest. And there was just like a big uphill, so I just lost control of the bike. I mean, it was just a simple mistake, and I hit a tree just head on and broke my leg. So that was the accident that started the whole thing. Pretty significant break. The bone had come out through the front of my leg. It was.
Right.
It's pretty bad when your insides become your outsides.
I was going to say, I can imagine. I don't even want to imagine, otherwise it'd be picking me off the floor.
So, I mean, it was evident at that stage, this is a bad job, like. So the guys were amazing that I was riding with. There was 9 of us out that day, and they had full first aid kit. They had GPS phones for, ringing for an ambulance and for everything. So they, got me all wrapped up, stopped the bleeding, and they rang for the ambulance to come. They landed out, and because we were down 4-wheel drive tracks, they couldn't get the ambulance down to me.
Right.
So they had to call the police to come in a 4-wheel drive, get everything into the back of the 4-wheel drive, and get down to assess the situation. They got me, they got everything under control, I suppose, and got some drugs into me and got my leg into a big splint and everything. And then they called for the helicopter to come. So they took me back up the track in the police car, into the ambulance, out to the helicopter, and then helicopter into the city, into Melbourne Royal Hospital.
Right. A real ordeal then,
So,
just the whole thing.
Absolute ordeal. I mean, there was just nothing easy about it. Even in the helicopter into the hospital, then they told me that it was too windy to land on the helipad, so we're going to have to land at a local airport, and we're going to have to get another ambulance to come take you out. So it took a police car, 2 ambulances, and a helicopter to get me from where I fell off to the hospital.
So whenever you say you were on a wee back road, were you driving, or were you riding dirt bikes, or what was it? Or
riding dirt bikes, and like out there, I suppose, whenever you go, like the forest that we were in was maybe half the size of Tyrone. It's massive, massive forest. They call it bush riding. You just out in the bush, and it's just off-road bikes and off-road dirt tracks and that kind of thing. It's not road bikes.
So, and then it was like, is it, when you say you came to a hill, is it a normal hill, just an ordinary hill, or is it like a?
No, it was pretty like a very.
It's all like it's be something like you're probably too young to remember this, but there used to be a show way back in the day called Kickstart, where there was these guys on scramblers going over all this sort of stuff. But it sounds pretty wild and pretty rugged and pretty gnarly and
all of that. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the show Kickstart now.
Show me. Your dad probably remembers it too. Right, okay, so you got back to Melbourne Hospital, and then what happened from that point then?
So from that point then, it was in for emergency surgery then, so I mean I don't really remember much after that until I woke up with my leg in just like massive external fixation, they call it, like all the metal work drilled into your bones and stabilising your whole leg, and they told me that they were unable to reconstruct my leg, that they didn't think it was possible. I've got the surgery notes. The doctor says that it was unreconstructible.
Right.
Just so pretty much from my knee, it smashed up my kneecap and the bottom of my femur.
Right.
So really just small area just there, but yeah, it was pretty bad. But they put it in the external fixation, and then they had a meeting to see what could we do. A doctor, he thought that he would be able to fix it, so he was in then the next week. So I went back then for surgery whenever he was in that day. He was working that day. So that was surgery number 2. When I woke up from that, they told me that he got it reconstructed.
Okay.
So very, very happy to hear that at the time.
I can imagine.
So I've never really had any bad breaks, anything like that before. I mean, in my head, anyone I ever knew that had broken their leg, it was like 6 weeks in a cast and then party on.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I'll be off my feet for 6 weeks. But yeah, came to find out that wasn't the situation. There's a few little complications there. Anyway, after that surgery, I started doing some rehab and back in for scans, and they told me that one of the wires that they had put through my kneecap to reconstruct it and to hold it all together, they had left too long. So they said if you bend your knee, that there's a possibility that wire's going to come out through the skin. So
right.
We're keeping you with a straight leg for 6 weeks. They needed to. Well, so as far as I'm aware, they needed to let the wounds heal before they could cut back over the top of them again. And go in again.
Yeah.
So, just some light rehab, and for those 6 weeks, then back into surgery again. That was just a small day procedure. Had that done, and then was good to go. We were good to get head first into some rehab. So around that time, we were considering coming home. Our plan was to come home from Australia anyway. So that's what we done. Whenever we got the go ahead to fly from the doctors, we were saying, we're heading home. So if that's all good with you, we're gonna go. And they said, yep. So we headed home, and then I just picked up with physio here, and just got into it as hard as I could to try and get this leg working. But I couldn't bend. My leg wouldn't bend. It would only bend about like 30 or 40 degrees from straight. I couldn't even get it to 45,
Right.
So it was like basically in a straight position.
So effectively, your knee as a hinged joint as such wasn't. You didn't have half the mobility, or even.
Not even
Tiny
amount. I couldn't get it straight. I couldn't get my leg straight, and I couldn't bend it. So it went from about 15 degrees till about maybe 30, 35, so it was just a small.
So significantly,
yeah. So then I was up and down to doctors and more scans and more everything, more of the same here. And they were saying I needed more surgery, and then I was talking to the doctors in Australia, and there was a bit of a conflict as to what they were saying needed to be done, and I just couldn't get my head around it, because I was like, these two doctors are looking at the exact same information, and they're telling me two different things. So whenever I found out that, okay, we definitely need more surgery, this is definitely going to happen, I had a decision to make whether I was going to stay here and have it all done here, or to go back to Australia, because I was lucky enough in the case that the insurance that I had that covered me for the accident, it covers the accident for life as long as you're in Australia.
Right.
So I was figuring out, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay here, or am I going to go back to Australia and I'll be able to get it covered over there? So I decided that I would go back to Australia. I just was happier with the doctors who had already started the surgery, and I suppose I held the doctor who could reconstruct the unreconstructible leg in very high regard.
Since he had managed to do what seemingly was
impossible,
unable to be done.
So I just kind of went with my gut with that. I just said this, I need to make a decision, and this is the one that I'm making. So again, jumped on a plane back to Australia. That was July 2023, and then went in for surgery again. First thing they done was they took all the metalwork out of my leg. There's metalwork from my hip right down to my knee. Took all of that out. After that surgery, my leg got infected. So 2 weeks after that, I had to be rushed in. I had to go to A&E then with fever for emergency surgery again to have that all washed out. And then after that, again, back and forward to the doctors, and the doctor told me, he said, I can get your leg, I can get the bone to heal. He said, that's easy. We can get the bone to heal. But what I can't do is get you a functional knee. I just, that, 15 to 35 degrees is all that I got for like 2 years. That's where I was, and made no more progress with it. And they were just saying that the knee joint, you've just smashed the whole knee joint, and we've pieced it back together, but it's not really going to work the way it was before or anywhere close to it. So then the conversation became the conversation changed then. So they basically gave me two options. They said we can do a fixed knee, which means that they would basically put metalwork across my knee joint and screw it straight so that it'll never bend again.
So permanently straight leg.
Permanently straight, but they said that it would, it shouldn't be painful anymore. Or I was in a lot of pain with it, just constant pain with it. And a leg that doesn't work and is constantly sore wasn't really, I can't live like that forever.
No, Jesus, no way.
So they said, we can do that, we can fix the leg straight, or we can do an above knee amputation. That's really where we are. That's what we're left with. I had already lived the last 2 years with basically a straight leg, and I knew what that looked like. So, it was the logical decision for me. A very tough decision to make, to decide to have your leg.
That's what I was gonna say, Finbarr. It's like after having invested so long in holding out hope and maybe, and then having to make that decision, like, it's unimaginable for someone obviously that hasn't been through that.
Yeah,
but
it was.
Did you think that your mind kind of took over? You referred to it there as a logical thing, so was it more academic thinking rather than? Remember?
Yeah. I mean, the emotional thing is to want to keep your leg. You kind of have an emotional attachment to these things. You want to keep them.
The rest of us probably take our legs for granted.
That's it.
But I kind of
I mean, whenever we went back to Australia, I mean, the focus was, I want to try and save my leg. I mean, we have to try everything that we can. I feel that the best chance of that happening is there with the people who had already, has been inside and knows what they're working with already. But, after that, then it kind of flipped more to quality of life. You're making this decision based on quality of life, not on saving the leg.
Yes.
And when I looked at quality of life with the fixed knee and quality of life with an above knee amputation, it was the right decision for me. I said yes, definitely. My quality of life is going to be so much better if we amputate. So, yeah, logical decision, tough decision, but I would be quite a logical thinker anyway, and that's how I would make most decisions.
It clearly was the right decision, and it's. I feel safe enough saying that.
Yeah.
Now, whenever I'm in the room with you and I'm looking at you and I'm able to see that you have a high quality of life. You're mobile and you're back at the gym and you're out running and you're doing all the things that potentially you would never have been able to do had you went for the fixed knee option. But I suppose what I am wondering is, whilst it was the right decision, at the time when you came to following that operation and you woke up and you looked down and you'd only one leg, what was going through your head at that point? Were you thinking, oh shit, or were you thinking, thank God?
So yeah, after the surgery, I mean, I had reached out to somebody actually local to here, a fella from Finbarr who I had been put in touch with, who had a few years ago, he had lost his leg above the knee. So, I mean, I say I'm a logical thinker. I just need information. I just need all the information from everyone, and then I'll figure out what's best for me. That's how I've always been. So I went, and talked to all the doctors, and we talked about nerve surgeries and talked about everything. And, they were telling me it's going to be sore for 6 weeks and then the pain will subside and all of this stuff. But I found it hard to take on their information when I look at them and go, yeah, but you've got 2 legs, how do you know?
Aye.
So I got put in contact with a local guy here, and he was just amazing. I texted him, I was like, I just wondered if I could pick your brain, and phone rang straight away on the phone for over an hour answering every question that I have. And I took so much more contentment from that conversation than I did with any doctor, because I'm like, he's been there.
He knows exactly.
When he tells me it's going to be like this and that, it's because he knows. It's not, obviously the doctors do know, but I mean, it's second-hand knowledge, or
it's his lived experience is much outweighs a theoretical
absolutely
perspective. Like,
so after speaking to him, it made it seem like it wasn't the end of the world, because it felt like it. A lot of times it felt like it. But when I opened my eyes after the surgery, whenever I opened my eyes, I remember just thinking, I already know this was the right decision for me, because my leg just felt so light and there was no pain, and I haven't had that in over 2 years.
Just even the relief from the pain.
Just the relief from the pain. Obviously now I was coming from surgery, there was a lot of anaesthetic and everything, I mightn't have just felt everything. But I just knew it. As soon as I opened my eyes, I was like, I already know this was the right decision.
You got a very quick new sense of the new you as such.
Yeah.
This is going to be okay.
Yeah.
If I feel a bit lighter and I have no pain, then that's better.
Yeah, well, it's definitely easier. Your day-to-day life is much easier if you're not in pain.
Well, I mean, anybody that's ever experienced pain, and anybody that's has to live with chronic pain will be able to empathise with that. There are times in the past when I've had pain, not even beginning or attempting to compare it in any way, shape or form to what you've had to come through. But pain can just wear you down. It's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. I mean, no one likes the dentist until you've got a toothache.
Exactly.
And that's what pain will do for you.
That's it. That's right.
Same kind of thing. No, it's massive. So no, I knew straight away that this is definitely the right call for me, and very happy that I done
it. Tell me a wee bit about your life, Finbarr, before the trip to Australia and before you had your accident and your surgery and all. Would you have been a sporty person? Would you have been out doing football and bits and balls like that, or would you have done running or anything like that?
I would have done, yeah. I would have been very active. Going way back, I would have started probably playing football when I was, under 8, under 10, whatever, around that. And I played football up until I was about 14, 15. Always had motorbikes, always had quads around the house, and all my cousins and everyone who lived around it all had motorbikes and anything that burnt petrol, really. So, I was about 13 or 14, and I remember saying to Dad that there was there's race days on, there's people racing these quads, and I want to race them. So if I find out where they are and what it's all about, can we go? And he was like, yeah, you find out where they are, what we need to do, and we'll make it happen. So I remember my first race day. I went out, I came 3 races, I came last, and I was absolutely hooked.
Consistent.
But and then that was the focus. Then I played football and race quads for about, I think, 1 year, and then it was hard to do it all, so it was like, now we're focusing on the quads.
The quads took over.
That took over, and that took over for the rest of my teens and even into my early 20s.
It would have been a sport that you would have needed to be in shape for then too, I imagine.
Huge, very, yeah.
Like whenever you're racing quads, you're not just messing about here.
No, it's very, very physically demanding. So I kept myself in good shape for that, and lots of running and lots of gym work and stuff like that. So no, that was good, and I done that until early 20s, and then I decided I would go do a bit of travelling and see a bit of the world. Done some of that, And then when I came back, I ended up then buying just a motocross bike, a two-wheeler, because just for a bit of fun, I was like, I'm not racing it competitively. I just, we'll buy it and we'll go out and have a few days fun on this. Some downhill mountain biking, and then I got into a bit of running. Done some of those, Tough Mudder events and cross country, and I enjoyed that kind of thing more so than the just like distance road running.
Yeah.
So yeah, done some of that. And then 2019, I decided, before Australia, I decided I want to do a marathon. So I done the Connemara Marathon down in Connemara.
Very good.
So yeah.
I'm sure you had great support and encouragement from your dad with regards to the running and all, because your dad, of course, is Barry McCann, who's one of the local Uma triathlon legends and an Ironman himself.
He is, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, everything that I've ever done, they're always in my corner and always have lots of, they always encourage me to do anything that I was doing.
So so you always were active. You were always very fit, and up for anything really.
Basically, yeah.
And that seems to have managed to carry you through what has been a really, really, really difficult period, a really, really difficult number of years, and it's nice to see you on the other side of it. But can you remember back to the recovery and what you were kind of thinking? Because I'm really interested to find out what inspired you or what kept you positive, what keeps you positive. It's important to understand that this is still an ongoing thing. I suppose you're still coming to terms with it in many respects. You're still possibly in the early stages. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but you're probably still in the early stages of trying to suss out what you're capable of again.
I think it's 8 months to the day from my amputation.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely very, very new.
It's quite a quick turnaround, though, isn't it? Or is it from an outsider's perspective? It's probably
a very quick turnaround. It really is. Even the doctors in Australia before we were leaving, they had said that it's one of the fastest rehabilitations from an above knee amputation that they've ever seen in their career.
Brilliant.
So I do feel though that I've had a bit of a head start with that, and mindset as important as it is. The way that it all happened to me was step by step. So I definitely can empathise with somebody that was out living their life one day and maybe had an accident and woke up, looked down and their leg gone.
Yes.
That's a whole lot of stuff to process in one go.
Okay, yes.
And that's difficult. So I do think that helped me anyway. So that obviously I had the accident, got the leg reconstructed, and I knew what living with the injury was like for 2 years, and I knew that this isn't the life for me. That this can't go on, and then then you make the decision you're going to have the leg amputated, and before the surgery even happens, you're like, I can't wait to be on the other side of it so that we can come out of the gates running. Whereas for anyone that would happen traumatically to, you have to deal with all of that on the other side of it. So it's definitely it's different.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I suppose you were ready to. You had the rehab preempted as such. You knew that this was going to be, you were going to be sore for a couple of days, couple of weeks. You're going to be quite tender, then there's going to be a process involved. You were fully committed. You bought into it, and you were ready to give whatever it is that was going to be asked.
Yeah. Again, just for me needing information, and this is how I deal with things, is take in all the information. The first thing I done whenever I found out that above knee amputation, this is a possibility, is went online and looked at every single video of everybody that has an amputation on YouTube, on Instagram, on absolutely everything, and was taking it in to see what they were able to do, and watching Paralympians and, you know, people running and, you know, living quite a normal life. So then in my head I was like, okay, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Absolutely.
Which I didn't really know at the time, because I didn't really know many people with an amputation. I didn't know what life looked like. So I took a massive amount from that, from just speaking with people, speaking with other amputees who had been through it, and watching stuff online. That's really where a lot of my inspiration came from, and yeah, that's really helped coming out the other side of it.
And just in terms of the actual mechanics of it, pardon the pun, you've got your Instagram account is mechanical, as in McCann, which is a quality dad joke.
Oh yeah.
It's I mean, I thought from Iron Maiden, Iron Man was pretty cool, but this one's that is quality. So the mechanical lifestyle. Obviously, I mean, I'm able to see your prosthetic. Is it called a prosthetic?
Yeah, prosthetic leg, yeah.
And it looks like a serious piece of kit. Is that carbon fibre?
Yes, so the socket is carbon fibre, and I think the most of the from the knee down is made of carbon fibre too. Yeah.
I'm going to start asking questions that are probably the questions that people want to ask.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So see, whenever is your prosthetic leg now weighted to be the same weight as your other leg, or is it? I mean, it's obviously going to be adjusted for height and all those things, and then there's obviously the socket has to be fitted, I'm assuming, to fit your anatomy.
Yeah.
So it's not like, or is it that you just go, I want that one, and I want that one, and I want that one, or
it basically,
what way does it work?
It basically is like that. I mean, they don't try and match up the weight. You know, it's give or take the same as a leg, you know, but they wouldn't try and match it up with the person. You know, you kind of pick it, you know, out of a catalogue, for want of a better way of putting it, and say, you know, you trial out a few and decide which one works best for you, and that's it. This one is actually pretty heavy. It would be, I would say it's probably like 8 or 9 kilos.
Right.
But, you know, you get used to it. I mean, it felt so heavy the first time I put it on, but it's normal now. But yeah, I mean, getting the prosthetic, getting the socket fitted, they basically get, you know, like a plaster of Paris that you would get if you broke your arm or anything.
Yes.
So they do that on your limb and mould it and
cast.
A cast, and so they've got an exact shape for your leg, and then they make the socket from that mould. So, like, I mean, the socket would be no good to anyone else. Specifically
it's
for
unique
me.
to each person for their specific anatomy.
Yeah.
And then, with regards to the actual mechanics of it, is the movement just one way from the hinge at the knee, or is there movement side to side, or what way? Is there different types of movements that they can be got with different limbs?
Well, no, I suppose all the knee joints are just back and forward. There wouldn't be any side to side movement in them. This one in particular is a microprocessor knee, so it is a computer system in it.
Right.
So I need to plug my leg in and charge it.
So now we're starting to get into some serious stuff. So,
yeah.
So what's all that? What's the tech that's in there?
The tech in it is, it's amazing when they plug it into the computer. So it knows, like right now, it knows that I'm sitting down when I'm standing up. So they'll input my weight into it. It knows how much of your body weight you're putting through it, and you can see that moving in real time. It knows if you're standing on your heel or your toe, so that it knows whether to swing the knee through, like you're taking a step. It's got a stumble recovery feature in it, so that it can detect that you're tripping or falling,
Right.
and it'll stop the knee from bending so that you can recover your step. And it knows your cadence, it knows how fast you're walking, how fast to bring the knee through. It just picks it up.
Holy shit!
It's smart.
That's unreal.
I've got an app on my phone to change modes, and you can put it to cycle mode, walking mode. You can lock the knee, like the videos you would see in the gym. When I'm down in like a plank position, I just go onto the app and put it into locked knee position, and you can go down.
And then that holds that for you to perform that exercise.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a very smart piece of technology, and it's it really helps with day to day, with day to day living. There's we've got stairs in our house. There's a stair function in it. It knows that you're walking upstairs, and it'll operate different so that you can walk step over step instead of having to just go 1 foot up, the same foot up, the same foot up. So yeah, it's got all of that in it. So it's really good. Like the technology that's available at the minute compared to maybe 20, 30 years ago is phenomenal. It's, I suppose, I wouldn't think that it's as big of a disability now as it would have been 20, 30 years ago because of the technology advancements. So no, I'm very happy with it.
It's that is a serious piece of kit there, isn't it?
So it's really
the
good.
other thing that I would like to ask about was the running blade. So there's a great wee piece of action with you. You're in a football field or something, and you're doing a bit of a run on this blade. Is it a very, very different feel when you're on it compared to this limb that you use for your day to day?
Very different. Yeah.
I can imagine that blade because it looks bouncy. Is it?
It is bouncy, yeah. I mean, they've got that bit of flex in it because I suppose it's maybe mimicking your ankle. Do you know the bounce you would have in your ankle?
The way you would naturally propel off from your heel to your toe, engaging your calf muscle and push yourself forward.
So yeah, there's that bit of a spring in it, and now it's just a mechanical knee. You can speed up the movement out and the movement back. There's hydraulic oil in it.
Right.
There's just 2 little dampener settings on it, and it's as simple as that. But it enables you to run. You couldn't run in this leg. The way it was explained to me from the prosthetist, they said you need to think about your leg now like a tool, and you need the right tool for the right job. So if you're going for a run, you need a running leg. You're not going to go to the gym with the running leg on because you wouldn't be able to.
Aye.
It's even difficult to walk with it on.
Because of the shape of it and the dynamics of it. Aye.
And because it's mechanical. See, if you put weight on it and it's not dead straight, if it's slightly bent at all, it'll just buckle. It'll just give on you. So
right.
It'll be pretty easy to fall. It hasn't got any safety features or anything like that. It's just built for running, really. So
my mind's blown. Hey, this is just bonkers. It's wacky stuff, isn't it? Like it's the stuff of Star Trek. It's cyborg stuff. Like it's mad.
It really does interest me, and it's something that I a few months ago that I've known absolutely nothing about. But I'm all for gadgets and tech and stuff like that, and I find it so interesting. But yeah, the running blade's good now. I've got a lot of work to do on that. I haven't ran in well over 2 years, so I can't run far. My muscles just tire out so fast.
That's what I was going to ask you next. I was you are just going a bit too hard at it. You're just so eager and so keen just to get on with things, and you're probably quite excited about the future and what lies ahead. But I suppose the running bit is going to take, like, it's not like how you used to run.
No, it
You know,
feels pretty different. Yeah.
yeah, it's bound to be so different, and maybe there's probably a sense of there's probably a fair bit of anxiety, I would have thought, with it, in terms of being worried that you might tumble over, or
Um,
what is it like that way?
I don't be too bad. I'm pretty confident on it. I mightn't be good on it, but I'm confident.
Well, the video I seen of you looked alright, let me tell you.
But I mean, at the minute, I'm just going over to the track, like over at youth sport, and I'm trying to find places where it would be nicer to fall down to learn how to use it, kind of thing. You
Fair
know,
enough.
so
Yeah.
that's the point we're at the minute. Is just trying to just figure it out. And the other thing is the socket is slightly different, and it's just giving me a bit of discomfort at the minute. So I haven't been able to. I've only been out on it twice from I've got it, and the second time I had to stop because just because I was getting some discomfort. And the thing about it is, if I hurt my limb, if I overwork it and hurt it, it could put me off my feet for 3 or 4 days. I mightn't be able to put my leg on, and it's not worth it to try and do one lap of the track to not be able to walk for 3 or 4 days. So
No.
you're just trying to balance everything.
Yeah. No, you've got it all in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it will come.
Yeah, I've no doubt it will. But yeah, it's just
You're still in that sort of tentative stage of your rehabilitation, and you're redefining who you are. You're rediscovering your talents. You're finding them again, but you're having to relearn them because they're not the same, aren't they?
like everything's different. Even like walking now feels it's my new normal. But whenever I first put the prosthetic leg on, I mean, it was so alien. It just felt so far from normal. And you just think, am I ever going to get used to this? But what do you do? There's no other choice.
No, that's it. That's it. What about moving into the future? What do you think you're kind of, say this time next year?
Mm-hmm.
If we were to have a chat this time next year, what do you envisage your life being like now compared to where you're at now?
A few things different. I'm trying to get myself back in some shape after not being able to go to the gym for 2 years. And with I was on crutches for 2 years. I never even got off crutches. Mm-hmm. So you're not able to go to the gym and do the movements, and you're in pain all the time. So I'm just loving being back at the gym. It's just incredible. And as you said, being over with Mark and Orla, I mean, talk about being surrounded by the right mindset. Mm-hmm. They're just incredible people, and everybody that goes there, it's just a really good atmosphere in the gym, and real can-do attitude from everyone. So just building on that. I mean, I've always said, I'm not just going to say this for absolute definite, but I would love to do Omaha Half Marathon now in it's probably 6 months away, but there's a lot of stuff that's just out of my control, whether I can get this socket comfortable, that I'm able to get training, but that is something that I would love to do. I would love to be able to do that. So if there's anybody listening, there's no excuse. There's a man with one leg looking to do it.
That's right.
No excuses is good enough.
I can so see you do that.
I have no doubt that I'll be able to do it if I can get the socket comfy and that I'm able to wear it for a sustained.
Uh-huh. And if things don't pan out that you're not ready for it, mm-hmm. in for the next Omaha, there's one every year.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
So just don't be putting yourself under too much pressure at the same time.
No, definitely not. So I would like to do that, and I've been doing a bit of swimming too. So I mean, that's 2 of the 3 disciplines: a bit of running and trying a bit of swimming, of triathlon. So I don't know. I'm just taking it. I'm just enjoying moving my body again. Mm-hmm. You feel great going to the gym in the morning. Maybe I've just not had the endorphin rush for that long, but you just be on top of the world the rest of the day. It's just, I'm loving it.
You're getting a good buzz out of being back in action.
Yeah, that's it. So that's one thing that I suppose fitness wise, I mean, just back doing some running, enjoying swimming. I'm not that great at the swimming either, but there's always something to work on.
And what about the swimming then, in terms of the mechanics of swimming? Your kick's going to be impacted when you presumably you just swim with no prosthetic then in the pool.
Yeah, just no prosthetics. Just the one leg.
Do you just have the one leg, or would you use like a pull buoy in between your thighs just to give you a bit of buoyancy, or what way do you work it?
Yeah, I just feel that I've got no propulsion from my foot because I don't have feet. But so you kind of drop in the water. It's hard to stay. Stay level. But I mean, I can watch videos of other people doing it, so I'll be able to get there. But I mean, at the minute, I don't have it.
But that'll come.
But yeah, it'll come.
With the core strength and everything else that you're working on, and you're working on all parts and all components.
Yeah.
All at the same time, so it'll all come. There'll just be a day when you go, that was a nice swim.
That's it. You have a day like that, and then the next time you go back with high expectations, and you're like, that just didn't work out.
the other thing, which is very important as well, is if you have a wetsuit on, you're a lot more buoyant.
Yeah.
So it'll make the swim a lot more easier.
Yeah.
If that's, and it's not for everyone. Like you might not even be interested in open water swimming, for example, but you get a wetsuit on, that's going to obviously help with the buoyancy. Do you know what I mean? It'll free you up a wee bit more with regards to keeping that shape on the top of the water.
Yeah, yeah.
We could get a triathlon out of you yet.
Who knows? Never say never. I don't know what I'll do. But no, we'll see how that goes. I'm enjoying the running, I'm enjoying the swimming, and I'm enjoying the gym. So I'll stick with that for now. Then, like with the page online, I started that page. I'm just the complete opposite of someone who likes to be in front of a camera and, online and put up videos and stuff like that. But I just know how much that meant to me before I came through my operation. And it made the difference. It just inspired me so much. So that's why I made the page. And I'll just continue adding things. The things that I'm doing anyway, I'll go to the gym anyway.
Yes.
You can take a little video here and there and put it up, and if people are getting inspiration, that's brilliant. I love that. But like, I've already had people reach out to me that are in the same position that I've been in, awaiting an amputation, and just think that it's the end of the world. And it's been so nice to be able to be on the other side of it, where I can ring them and have that conversation with them. And tell them that, it's not the end of your life, it's only a leg. We'll get you one bolted on.
That's right.
Life goes on. That's been huge for me. I would like to be able to help as many people in that regard as I can, because it just made a world of difference to me when I needed it, and I just would like to do that.
And no better man, Finbarr, in terms of, because you've been there, done that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the difference, and in the same way that you got that comfort from speaking to that other person from Fenton or whatever that had gone through it, you're now able to do that for someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as the other thing as well, Finbarr, as much as you continue to inspire people that are coming through injuries and amputees and whatnot, you're inspiring the rest of us, because there's something about, whenever I saw the video of you doing all that, I thought to myself, I don't know if I would be strong enough. And I don't, and I suppose none of us do until we're faced with such a thing to have to, to have to either get on with it or whatever. But, you would have been very, very entitled to be feeling very, very sorry for yourself. and very low, and you could have gone into yourself, and you could have withdrawn, and you could have got very, very depressed.
Yeah.
And for me to be able to see that your positivity and your drive was just bouncing out of you.
Yeah.
You know, this was a guy that isn't going to lie down. There's nothing's going to stop this dude from doing what this dude's going to do.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that 1 minute of watching you doing that workout in Colty's gym.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and that's class.
I get you, and it's great. I love to hear that people are getting inspired by it. I mean, my main focus is to just try and help other people that you know find themselves in that dark place and need help, and that's my main drive behind it. And it's for someone, you know, I just remember lying in the hospital bed watching one video of people doing everything with prosthetic legs, and you know with prosthetic legs, and I just want to be that person for someone else. But I absolutely love that it's inspiring other people. But yeah, the way I look at it is like you can either have results or excuses. It's one of the two.
That's
you
right.
can't have both, like, and I'm fed up with excuses. Like, I'm just ready to get out and get after it.
If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, you'll find an excuse.
You will.
No, there's no excuses here, am I?
No, definitely not. No, I'm not one for complaining now. I just like to get things done.
Finbarr, that's it's an amazing story. And you're an amazing person.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm while happy that we've linked in and we've had this discussion. You've inspired me. I find myself whenever I watch the video of you telling myself off, telling myself, would you fucking quit your crying, Mickey Collins? You know, this man here's had to come through some serious stuff, and you're whinging about A, B, and C.
Yeah.
It puts things into perspective.
Oh, it does, big time.
You know,
it really does, and you know, you hear people complaining about wee things and the weather and stuff like that, and you're like, you've nothing to worry at all. To be honest, if that's your biggest grievance.
I know, unbelievable. If anybody wants to follow your journey, then Finbarr, what's your Instagram, the official page name?
The official one is Mechanical Life, at Mechanical Life, and that's McCann, MCCANN.
I'll put a wee link under the description anyway on the podcast for people to follow your journey and to continue to be inspired.
Yeah, well, that'd be brilliant.
And if there's anybody that's listening who is going through a similar process or is facing an amputee or has maybe had that operation and is wanting to reach out, are you okay for them to get in touch with you via the Instagram or what is it?
Absolutely. I'm more than happy for anybody that has gone through anything at all to reach out to me. Amputation, I mean, I'll have some advice down those lines. Anybody that's gone through anything difficult at all, I mean, yeah, if you don't reach out to me, reach out to someone, get in touch through the page. I'd love to hear from everybody, and I'd love to help as many people as I can. That's just what I want to do.
Good stuff. Finbarr, you look after yourself. Take care.
Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem. And all the very best with the rest of your rehab. And I can't wait to see you on the running track with the blade zooming past me. No doubt. I'm not a fast runner at all, but continued success.
Well, thank you very much.
Good man.